Hello, it's Leanne, occupational therapist from Succeed Healthcare Solutions for our Collaborate2Innovate meeting. We've got some good developments. So on Fridays at 2:30 once a month for our meetings at the North Lakes Sports Club. We've changed that from North Lakes Hotel to North Lakes Sports Club. We are inviting the mental health professional network members to come and join with us there for our topic on debating around mental health and technology and innovations such as things like artificial intelligence. So we'll be having a little informal debate of AI and mental health, friends or foe. So looking forward to that one. We'll have the friends ad-libbing with the foes ad-libbing about the disadvantages and risks around AI in mental health. And then the friends of AI in mental health will be using AI to help generate their arguments for the debate. So that will be a little bit of fun. So that will be coming up in August. So look out for that one for our next in-person meetup. For today, I thought I might just get started with a topic that seems to be relevant to situations where you have groups of health professionals who are cross-sector. They are of different disciplines getting together to collaborate to innovate, because sometimes that can bring philosophical differences. It can bring modality or practice differences. And I think it's a really important topic. So when we caught up last week in person at the North Lakes Sports Club, it's great to have you guys there. There was, we generated a list of topics that people would like to cover during our catch-ups, and one of them was around communication in collaborations. So I thought that would be a good one to kick off with. Some of the strategies that can be helpful to foster productive collaborations and partnerships is the good old active listening. Taking the time to truly understand the other party's perspective and concerns. So with that, it involves being really present, not thinking ahead to what you want to say, not thinking back into the past, but listening to what the other person's saying in the moment, being empathetic and receptive to their ideas, even if they differ from your own, and having a respectful dialogue. So we, in our Collaborate2 meetups, really want to create a safe and respectful environment for discussions. We definitely discourage any personal attacks or criticism, and we want to focus on the issues at hand. That's why it's good to have a little topic to sort of guide discussions as well. And we encourage open dialogue where everyone feels their opinion is valued. That's really important when we are collaborating with people from across different areas of healthcare and education as well. That's the next one is around common goals and objectives. We have discussed this before in our Collaborate2 meetups. You know, one of their first meetings was around working out common goals, and we worked out some of our common goals with things like wanting positive client or patient outcomes. There were many others as well, but that was a big one. So it is important to find that common ground by identifying those shared goals and objectives. And then what we try and do with that is emphasize the areas where interests may align, and then build upon those shared interests to create a foundation for collaboration. So it's about working out where we're going to get the biggest wins. And it's that strengths-based approach, isn't it? Which is how we work with our clients in our therapy business, working on, okay, what's going well, what are the strengths, and then what are the areas or the opportunities for us to develop further. The next thing is to focus on evidence-based practice. So when we base discussions and decisions on evidence-based research and data rather than personal beliefs, that can help with that challenge where maybe parties don't agree philosophically or on health or treatment-related approaches. So highlighting scientific evidence can help steer the conversation toward objective decision-making. Where I think this is a challenge is that the research is only as good as the research that's been done. And, you know, there isn't research done on everything. And sometimes there's emerging research. And I think that's where things like our case studies, you know, can be of help. Of course, they, in the research, are considered to be less highly weighted in terms of, you know, considering whether it's really proving something or not. But it's still useful to then apply our clinical wisdom to it, and obviously still take those client preferences into account. Excuse the dog in the background, assistant's dog for the clinic. The other one is, look, say if the partnership or the collaboration is really struggling still, there are options for mediation and facilitation. So a neutral mediator or facilitator could help guide the discussions and ensure all parties have a fair chance to express their views. Hopefully that never needs to happen with our groups, but we're talking just generally. I think it's a really important topic. I think it's very undertaught, this subject of working together in health, in collaborations and partnerships, and kind of the mechanics of how to do that relationship, which is what it is. It is a relationship. I know there are some organisations that provide this information, but I don't think it's well known about. Transparency is an important one. So being transparent about your own beliefs and values and the rationale behind your approach, that can build trust and lead to more constructive conversations. It's okay to be transparent about your own beliefs and values. And there's sort of no point pretending, is there? And then we can all sort of get on the page and get all of our agendas out there. So that's a good one as well. Empathy and understanding. So trying to put yourself in the shoes of the other parties to understand their perspectives better. Empathy can help you navigate sensitive topics with more compassion. So what we talk about in our business, we talk about empathy and this term validation, is really seeking with curiosity to understand the other person's point of view before even starting the problem-solving process, because until we fully understand their point of view, we may actually be solving the wrong problem or something that's not actually the problem at all, which would be wasted effort. And it can also, hold back the relationship. So when we talk about empathy, we sort of earn more in our business on things like saying things like, it makes sense that you feel or think that way because of blah, and we try and find what may be, why someone thinks or feels a certain way, or it's understandable that you think or feel that way because of blah. That's a really nice way, and that incorporates that reflective, active listening as well as that respectful dialogue as well. And then it's really important to start building a consensus. So finding areas of compromise where feasible and seeking those win-win solutions that respect the values and priorities of all parties involved. That is very important. It's where we talk about in our business with negotiation, both parties may have their kind of not negotiables, but then there might be that ground that's more negotiable. Let's actually work out what are the non-negotiables, what are the negotiables, and then find that common ground in there for that consensus building. And another one is establishing boundaries. So when we're promoting open communication, we also want to have clear boundaries on what topics are and aren't open for discussion and what might be non-negotiable. So that's an important one as well. When we've got those clear boundaries in place, it's going to be a lot easier for everybody to move forward. Continuous education is another way. So encouraging ongoing education about learning and about different healthcare philosophies, different treatment approaches to foster mutual respect and a broader understanding of diverse perspectives. So that's why when we generated our list of topics that people would like to cover in upcoming sessions, that's the sort of thing. So we do those in a little 10-minute period during our sessions. A patient or client-centered focus. So we always want to keep the focus on what's best for the client. And sometimes just a little reminder to all parties that the primary goal is to provide the best possible care and outcomes for those in need can be useful to keep in the forefront of our minds. And recognising the importance of incremental progress. We do that for our clients, and we need to do that for ourselves, and we could do that for our partnerships, collaborations in the healthcare sector and education sector. So recognising that changing deeply held beliefs takes time and focusing on making incremental progress and celebrating small achievements along the way can be really helpful. Another option is conflict resolution. So developing a conflict resolution process ahead of time before things start to flare up. So just in case disagreements become too challenging to navigate. that could involve seeking help from a neutral third party or establishing a framework for reaching resolutions. So, that sounds like a really useful thing. I know in our business, we've had general guidelines. If we start to notice little issues pop up, which don't happen very often, we just make sure that we want to be on the front foot and have that information explicitly set out at the start so that we can refer to it if we need to down the track. And the other one is having regular check-ins. So scheduling regular check-ins or meetings to assess progress with those areas, addressing concerns or making necessary adjustments to the collaboration process as well. That's an ongoing process. So successful collaboration doesn't always mean that we need to completely agree on all aspects. And who's going to do that? We're humans. No one completely agrees on everything. It's finding ways to work together for the greater good and respecting diverse viewpoints and prioritising the well-being of clients and patients. I hope that's been helpful, and I look forward to catching up with you guys next week. Bye.